War leaves scars on the land, on people, and sometimes on the things we cannot see. Across the world, soldiers have reported terrifying encounters, not with enemy combatants, but with something much stranger. Shadows in the hall, voices in empty rooms, doors slamming, alarms ringing, figures that shouldn't exist. And nowhere are these stories more concentrated than at Fort Riley, Kansas. It's one of America's oldest army posts, and one of its most haunted. Tonight on Silent Conflict, we dive into the chilling mysteries, true accounts, and unexplained horrors lurking inside Fort Riley's barracks and on-base housing. Our first story comes from a soldier who served in the 97th Military Police Brigade. He lived in an old T-shaped barracks building near the cavalry parade field, a place already known for odd noises and strange movements at night. Late one Friday, while eating dinner after the gym, he heard a loud crash from the room next door. At first, he assumed the soldier inside had fallen or dropped something, until the terrified man came knocking on his door. With a shaky breath, he said, "A chair flew across my room." Itself. Wanting to prove it was just paranoia, the soldier checked the room. Nothing seemed unusual, except for the chair lying in the middle of the floor. He put it back, locked the door, and left. But then, he heard it. A screech, the sound of a chair dragging slowly across the tile. He rushed back and found the terrified soldier still across the hall, far from the room. When they opened the door again, the chair had moved back to the center of the room. Determined to stop whatever it was, he taped the chair to the bed frame. That's when things escalated. The deadbolt locked itself. The oven turned on, and down the hallway, a creature slipped around the corner. It had a thick, jet-black tail, about 2 feet long, dragging behind it. And then, a deep, animalistic growl. When they checked, there was nothing. No footsteps, no open doors, no animal on base matched the description. But the story wasn't over. At the exact same time, another soldier in the room beneath them woke up in sleep paralysis, watching shadow figures crawl down from his ceiling. Some things on Fort Riley don't just appear, they imitate. A soldier moving into on-base housing with his wife thought he would finally get some peace. Instead, he found something that could copy voices and even their appearance. It started with small shadows, then footsteps. Then one night, as he packed for a field exercise downstairs, he heard his wife crying upstairs. It was heavy, painful sobbing. But when he ran up, she was fine, with earbuds in, not having heard a thing. Later, the exact same thing happened, but in reverse. She heard him sobbing upstairs while he was calmly in bed reading. Then came the moment that terrified them both. The soldier walked to answer the door for a food delivery. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw his wife walking into the kitchen, except she wasn't home. She had seen the same thing herself on another day, a perfect copy of him inside the house while he was at work. Soon, the wife started waking up with mysterious bruises, cuts, and horrific nightmares. The final straw. One morning, symbols appeared on the wall, markings identical to scars from a dark time in her past. Whatever lived in that house didn't just imitate them. It knew them. After cleansing the home with sage and protective symbols, the activity finally settled, but the couple moved away shortly after. In another part of Fort Riley, a soldier received a panicked, late-night phone call from his neighbor. Someone was banging on her door, hard. But when he checked from his window, nobody was there. He walked outside with a weapon to investigate. Still nothing until he stepped onto a porch. The door vibrated violently, as if someone was pounding on it with both fists. But the porch was completely empty. He backed away slowly, realizing this was no person. Even the families of officers aren't safe. One sergeant living in on-post housing returned home with her toddlers to find every kitchen cabinet wide open, drawers, cupboards, everything. But that wasn't the worst part. Later that night, during a small gathering, they heard a noise from upstairs. When her husband checked, he found something impossible. A tower of blankets and bedding stacked nearly to the ceiling. Sheets, pillowcases, comforters, all arranged neatly in total silence. Their children were both asleep. They moved out, A week later, other families reported grocery items rearranged, cans opened, pets seen long after their death, and even 911 calls made from inside empty homes. Something at Fort Riley is active, and it wants attention, whether you believe in spirits, demons, or something else entirely. The number of soldiers reporting unexplained events at Fort Riley is overwhelming. This base has survived cholera outbreaks, deadly influenza, and over a century of war training. Maybe all that suffering leaves a mark. Maybe something stays behind. And maybe those things don't always sleep. If you or someone you know has experienced something strange on base, share your story. It deserves to be heard. Thank you for watching Silent Conflict. Like, share, and subscribe for more true stories from the front lines. Stay safe, stay aware, and remember, some battles aren't fought by the living